Okay, so there's a concept in the Chinese martial arts. It's often known as bridge hands, where the arms connect together and create a bridge between the two protagonists. And when we're doing this, we're able to feel what each other is doing and move with those movements. The entire body can come forward and backward. You can project force, you can yield to force, and so on. The challenge, as always, is to stay as relaxed as possible. If the tendency, particularly at the beginning, is to tense up, particularly the arms and shoulders, they start fighting each other from the arms, and then he's able to push me and my whole body will go backwards. Whereas if you stay relaxed and loose, not just in the arms, but in the hips and everywhere else, then any force flowing into you can be easily yielded to, and you can create wave-like movements that will move him backwards as well. So without moving your feet, you can invade each other's space. So it becomes a bit like a sort of game of chess. Another way of developing this feel is to do the movements with your eyes closed. Closing your eyes means that you're more aware of what you can feel. So any kind of an attack from either of us, whichever way around our arms are, can easily be redirected. And you can feel this so much more clearly with your eyes closed. And another advantage of having your eyes closed is that you don't have to be looking at the other person. So normally if you're in a fight, one of the persons is going to be very aggressive, staring you out, glaring at you, saying all kinds of things about your mother and so on. And the tendency is to be like a rabbit in the headlights. Oh my God, and you tense up and you just focus on this threat in front of you. It's far more effective to be able to use when you are connected to the other person with both hands, you don't have to look at them anymore. You can look around you, you can see where the exits are. You can see where your friends are, what his friends might be. You can even show your disdain for him by chatting to somebody else. Oh, how are you doing? I haven't seen you for a while. Well, he's trying to punch you, you're completely ignoring him. Hang on, let me just deal with this threat over here. So as he comes in, we'll just take him out and but you completely ignore him. You don't even have to look at him. He's shouting, just trying to get your focus by. So whatever movement he might be doing, you can feel it. If he's using his arms coming in, you can feel this. If he's moving a leg in, you'll feel this whole body moving in, and you can move your entire body backwards or forwards. You can turn to the side as I did earlier. So we learned to bridge hands, but we learned, how to maintain the structure correctly so that we're not leaning backwards or leaning forwards. If your opponent sees you leaning backwards, he'll push you back. If he sees you leaning forwards, he'll pull you forwards, and you're very vulnerable to this. Whereas if you're upright, if you try and push or pull, so much harder. You can move, exactly. So you can root the force down into the ground, or you can just yield to it. Yeah. So we can move around, exactly. So you can see these strikes coming, and you can feel them, and it becomes a very different kind of form of sparring. Very hard to spar with somebody when they're just blocking everything you do. If you're trying to attack me, so I mean, it's so hard, I think, because we are covering what each other is doing. Sometimes an arm will slip out, but you can block it. If you just stick one arm out from underneath and try to strike me over the top, the other arm just comes up. You can feel it straight away. And the key thing is that you can react to what you can feel much faster than what you can see. So as soon as we break contact, I've got to look at you again and see what that arm's doing. And again, if you relax your arms down, and I'm going to punch you now, you're not going to be able to block it because the action is almost always faster than the reaction. Even if I was to raise it all the way up above your head and strike down here, it's still too fast. So, but we can react to what we can feel so much more easily. This is why we learn to bridge, to connect to the other opponent. And then we can, to a certain extent, well, to a great extent, relax. We need to relax. If we're tense, we can be pushed around and easily move.
It's so much easier.
Yeah, exactly.
You're tensing up.
Yeah. To stay relaxed, and all of a sudden, you can flow with what you're doing. Exactly. So the key is just to stay as relaxed as we can. So there is nothing for him to push against. No real force, currently no force, but the force is there. And when we want to project a force, you know, we can do so. Anyway, yeah, so bridging hands is a real skill. It takes a lot of practice over a certain amount of time, but it's so useful in combat. You know, anytime anybody attacks you, first thing you do is you connect with one or both hands, and you try and maintain this connection and whatever else you might be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.